Hey, welcome to Discovering More. We've just gotten through our fiscal year. So July 1 is kind of a new kickoff for us, although we're also in the middle of just kind of preparation. But we just came through our Celebrate the Journey series, and there's a lot to celebrate. Celebrating Pastor Mark and Lynette and all their time, and you got to see their thank you video if you follow us last week, and also the video from the congregation. It's been a pretty incredible June.
It has. It's been very full as we've looked back at God's blessing, but we continue to look forward as we're working on vision and so forth. So yeah, just kind of a whirlwind actually of things that we're looking at and celebrating.
Yeah,
so it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for sure, and I think the big thing is that Peace has really been preparing for this moment. Even Pastor Mark for the past 5 years has really been leading from this place where there's going to be something after this, and that's actually, as we look at like Jeremiah 29, I was preaching on that a few years ago, and it says there, God has plans for you for a future and a hope. And the word future really in the Hebrew just means there's something after this. It's not necessarily like some long-term abstract views. Like there's just something coming after this. So and that can be there's something tomorrow for us to pick up.
And the real comforting thought about it, not only is there something, but that something is in God's hands.
Yeah.
And so for us individually, we can celebrate that God is always leading me forward. Whether it's from this celebration to something new, or whether it's something that I'm struggling with, that He's leading me through that, He's leading me forward. But same thing with us congregationally, as a people of God, He is the one who is leading us to that something next. And
it definitely helps in anxious times, doesn't it?
I think it does.
Is there ever not anxious times? I feel like there's always reasons for anxiety, but when we anchor ourselves to that reality that God has already been in our future, God has already prepared the way, He's already seen it all, and He knows the end of the story,
right?
And it's His good, it's His glory, our good too. It gives us a certain level of peace.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're stepping into a brand new series here for the rest of the summer. It's going to be a longer series. We got nine weeks of it, but I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be helpful. We're going to be talking about risking relationship. And not risky relationship, but risking relationship in the sense that it's easier than ever to be disconnected from others. Easier than ever.
Right.
To be isolated, to withdraw onto online community, order your groceries online, do everything by yourself, or avoid the people that maybe make you feel uncomfortable or whatever. So anyways, the point of this series we're stepping into, Risking Relationship, is to anchor us as Christians in the confidence we have in Jesus, who became flesh, who stepped into human flesh, and risked it all for us.
Yeah. And I think what's really going to be fun about this series is kind of breaking down different kinds of relationships that we have, that most everybody has, and just spend some time thinking about, okay, where might God be calling me in next step to invest a little more in this type of relationship, or where maybe do I need to change kind of my attitude about this relationship, and then very specifically, what is these types of relationships, whether it's work, home, school, whatever, how can these relationships be benefited more by me really making my relationship with Christ central even to those relationships? Even with those who don't know and love Jesus, our relationship and our attitude toward them can be centered in our relationship that we have with Christ.
Yeah, I think the other thing is it's going to be a really practical series.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of, the Bible is very practical. Like we can treat it theoretical, abstractly. We can talk all these, technical issues, but we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of parenting, marriage, and dating, and politics. That's this coming week on the 250th anniversary of our country. Risking our politics, like what is that going to look like? So I think it's going to be a really enjoyable series. One of the things, I believe it was Dietrich Bonhoeffer, he said, we always see the other most holy when we see them through Christ.
Yes.
So even Christ says, whatever you do to the least of one of these, my brothers, you do to me. So Jesus is encouraging us to see him in others. So risking relationship at any level is trying to take a step closer to Jesus, as well.
Yeah, and getting back to the term risk, we do realize as we're talking, there are risks involved. There are risks of people rejecting us, or people getting us wrong, or we can get in relationships that are harmful, and boundaries are still important. But that it's worth taking godly risks to connect with people.
Well, and that's a good point, because sometimes actually setting up boundaries is the risk.
Yeah.
Like you're actually risking your relationship sometimes when you say, I won't go any farther than this.
Right. Yeah.
This is my limit.
Yeah, you can risk causing offense and all sorts of things, but it still might be the healthiest thing for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
So
point.
that was a helpful reminder. But anyways, gonna be a lot of good things coming. Lot to look forward to, and I don't know. I hope if you have any questions about any of these relationship stuff coming up, if there's any that you want to hear about, like we have our agenda set, but if there's any relationships that are really you would like to know more about or hear more about what the Bible has to say, make a comment in the videos, and we'll see how we can work it in over the course of these 9 weeks.
You bet.
So, hey, thanks for tuning in to our Discovering More, and we'll see you again soon.